Alright, today I'm going to discuss how to make a pre-filter for your water when you're backpacking. For those who are using UV filtration or chemicals, typically you'd probably want to pre-filter your water before you treat it in the event that there's a lot of debris or algae, things like that floating around in the water, bugs and things. If you have a very clear water source, it probably doesn't matter. Hiking in Colorado and a lot of the streams, I didn't bother. Other places, it's pretty obvious you're going to need to. So before, what I was doing was I would take a Gatorade bottle and just a little towel that I use, one of the mechanics towels, and I would put it over the bottle and put a rubber band over it, dunk it under water, and let the water seep through. In reality, it didn't really work that well. You'd have to squeeze the bottle to force out the air and then get suction and have the water come into the bottle that way. It's not really an easy thing to do. I mean, it's not difficult, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. So what I ended up doing was making a cap for my Gatorade bottle that has a screen built into it that acts as a pre-filter, and this will at least get any kind of big chunks. It's actually a very fine mesh, so it's probably just as good as the towel. So what I did to make this is I bought this coffee filter, mesh coffee filter here from Walmart for $5, and this is what it looks like here. And what I did was I used an X-Acto knife and I cut off the edges here, and I'm not going to do it to this one. I'm going to keep it intact in case I need to do it again later for another cap. But I mean, you can see where I cut it. You just kind of pulled it down, cut it along the edges, and cut out your sheet of mesh. For the cap, what I did was I took a hole saw and I just I sawed it out. For this, you could take anything. You could drill a hole through it if you have a Dremel. You could start widening it out like that, or you could drill a couple of holes and cut it with a razor or anything like that. Basically, just cut out most of the top of the cap enough to put a large amount of screen on it. And once you do that, I took Gorilla Glue, cut the screen to fit, and glued the edges. And after I let that sit for a while, I kind of the stuff starts expanding, so you kind of need to chisel it down, because unless you're really good at applying this glue with a lot of precision, it just gets stuck in the threads and things. So I took a little screwdriver and kind of cleaned out the threads and whatnot and got it able to actually screw on. So it screws onto the top. From now on, I'll put my bottle of water underwater here and just let the water filter in through this top. And the best part is it only weighs 5 grams, so it's pretty light, and it's the weight that the cap was going to weigh anyway. I don't know if it's less than the weight of the cap or not, but I did cut some out and replaced it with the mesh. Actually, it's showing 4 grams now. It said 5, but there you have it. It's only a couple of bucks for all the materials, and this is going to work great. So